But you're not allowed to do that anymore. You don't have free association in America. Now, here is a London Mirror story. Are UK children laws too strict? It says you're not even allowed to talk to your neighbor's kids. And you're not allowed to babysit them or have them come over in the morning before they get on the government training center bus. Now, this dovetails with Obama saying he wants year-round school. President Obama and year-round school. School is forever. Obama would curtail summer vacation. That's Associated Press right here. This is why he wants the televised announcements to the kids. This is the federal government. I've read their policy reports on air. We've had the former head, number 2 position, Department of Education on, Charlotte Iserby. In fact, let's set her back up about this. They told her in the 80s. That's why she left. They said, we're going to take over the family through the school. We're going to outlaw the family. Now, remember, $15 million fine the second time you have a garage sale that's unauthorized or you sell any recalled products. The animal ID, the premises ID, government documents to be able to have a solar panel. We just talked about that last segment. Let's go to her right now in Michigan, Lisa Snyder, in this 1984 world. Lisa, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, you've been on the national news, but just sound bites. You've got the floor for the next 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
Tell folks what happened. Break down what you're facing. But first, you just heard my breakdown of government taking over society. Were you aware of that angle?
No, I was not.
What do you think of the statements I just made?
It's stupid. It's bad, and yeah, the government doesn't need to stick their nose where it doesn't belong.
Absolutely. Okay, tell us how this started. How you became a 1984 criminal.
Actually, my law was 1973. The law that they say I was breaking, it's the Act number 116 of 1973.
But the point is they're now trying to enforce this similarly worldwide, the CPS, who tattled on you.
Oh.
I mean, break it down for us.
Okay. My house is a bus stop for the children of our neighborhood. And I have an older son, and my friends have older children that now our youngest ones don't ride the bus anymore. They all rode together, but now the older ones go off, and the younger ones are left behind. So my daughter did not want to get on the bus by herself, so we just thought it was a great idea to get the kids together, to get on the bus together so that they felt safe. 2 of them are 5, 2 of them are 7. Of course, you know, they don't have, they just feel scared. So we planned this 2 days into it. I received, it was the letter that I received was September 11th, but I didn't receive it until the following week, that I was providing care for unrelated children in my home. So I called the DHS and said, I don't understand this. I am not doing anything wrong. There is a bus stop. They do come in if it's cold outside, if it's raining. We live in Michigan. The weather can be sunny one minute and snowing the next. And I said, you know this, you live in Michigan. And she said, I said, what do you want me to do when it's raining outside? And she told me to tell their parents to buy them an umbrella.
So they're now your God. I mean, they're now going to tell you that you can't have neighbors' kids wait in your front room when it's cold outside. These are our new Soviet minders. I mean, I want this to really hit people that the Amish are having their kids taken. They're not letting people sell eggs and watermelons on the side of the highway anymore across the country. They're SWAT teaming them, having undercovers come buy watermelons and then SWAT team them. I mean, the government has run out of real criminals to feed on. We're now dinner. So what happened next?
So I just kept talking to her and saying, okay, can they at least stand in my garage? No, because the garage is a part of the house. I can't even do that. So I just got really angry, and I told her that I had to stop talking because what she was saying did not make sense. So then my friend wrote to Brian Cowley, and he jumped aboard immediately and said, this is ridiculous. It's such a broad law that there's such a broad spectrum that it needs to be, you need to have facts. There's no facts in this law. It can be for babysitting. It can be for a play date. My daughter has a little girl over. I was told that I need to ask her parents if they go out to dinner if they're going out to dinner or to a movie or whatever, that is considered daycare. But if they go home, then it's okay. I'm like, I'm not going to ask that. That's retarded. It's not none of my
No, ma'am,
business.
come on. You've got to ask permission if you take your daughter and her little friend to McDonald's to have a Happy Meal. Look, are you Al-Qaeda or something? I mean, airport security. America is now secure. They want to put metal detectors in shopping malls.
Yeah.
You need to ask CPS permission to go have a hamburger.
Yeah, well, no, I have to ask them to have my kids have play dates because
That's
they
freedom.
said it's
Ma'am,
fine.
ma'am, the veterans fought and died so that you wouldn't have permission to take the neighbor's child for hamburger. You've got to get government permission, not the parents. But see, I'm going to stop being sarcastic. What they're doing is setting a precedent. And worldwide, they're making these announcements that you can't keep your neighbor's kids. You can't even have kids' neighbors over. I had a Wall Street Journal reporter here who was in England, and she was taking photographs of a famous river. No children were even there. And police came up and said, you can't photograph the river. There may be a child somewhere on the river. This is pedophilia. Are you a pedophile? So it's about government teaching us all we're criminals so that we can all be inducted basically into this prison system. So you've got a state rep involved trying to pass a law because they've passed a previous law they're now implementing saying you can't have a play date with the neighbors.
Yeah, well, and then the governor is on board, too, because she did not know. I guess she must not have realized that this was going on, and now she has jumped aboard and wants this taken care of immediately because it is ridiculous. It's the dumbest law that's out there. We, as Americans, live in the free world. We should be able to choose who watches our children. We should be able to do what we want.
But ma'am, they've built giant CPS centers. They've built giant detention centers. We've got more prisoners than anybody in the world. They're only building more. They've got to criminalize us. Do you understand? That's our new economy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
So, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a good mother when it's freezing cold and gets below zero, trying to let neighborhood kids duck in for a few minutes. You're not allowed. What, you think this is America or something?
Yeah.
So what is the slimy CPS doing? Did you find out who reported you to the Bureau of Family Destruction?
I did not, no.
I mean, have you asked ma'am, did you know how CPS was set up?
No.
Well, let me just tell you, because you're influential, you're talking to a lot of folks. Family court was set up to carry out eugenics, the sterilization. You know, Hitler got his eugenics from us. I made a film about it called Endgame. And so that's why these family courts are outside of the regular courts and due process. And that's why their agents can get away with all this, because 80, 90 years ago, or even in the 30s, 75, 80 years ago, these were the people that would come grab you and your kid and go sterilize you. Did you know that?
No.
Had you ever heard about that?
No, I haven't.
Well, listen, I know that sounds crazy, but if you just Google Endgame eugenics, you can watch the actual government film clips where they had the movie reels teaching parents that this was okay. So we have this vestigial, leftover Hitlerian system. Well, I mean, here's an example for you. How is there even a spy network to know that you had neighbor kids over before they caught the bus?
I have no idea.
I mean, does that sound like Nazi Germany?
Well, no, it's just a nosy neighbor that, I guess that we don't know which neighbor, but I just think that someone must be very unhappy, or I don't know, thought that they would get. I don't know what they thought, actually. It's just a sad situation.
Well, the family is a unit that, according to the Department of Education, must be destroyed and replaced by the state. The individual must owe their allegiance to the state. That's why they put all the pressures they can on communities, so community collapses, so all that's left is the government. And that's why CPS is 5 times more likely to abuse children than any other group. What are the children doing now that winter's coming on? I guess they just freeze outside?
No, well, I am well within my 28 days of, I only watched them, the one little boy stopped coming, but the other little boy, I still have like 26 more days to go. before, and he only goes to school every other day, so I'm okay.
Well, I think the CPS workers playing God should be fired. Have you heard they're telling people they can't have neighbors over for Bible study now?
I have not.
All over the country. Yeah, we're being told, isn't free association the most basic thing? Isn't it the parents' decision if their children stay at your house, not the government?
Right. That's what our whole this whole uproar is because, you know, as a parent, they know me, they know my morals, they know how I bring up my children, they know that their children are going to be safe. And
did you hear about California saying parents can't homeschool?
No, I haven't.
What do you think about that?
That's retarded.
I mean, the government is saying they own us. Let me say bye to you during the break. We really appreciate you joining us. An amazing lady standing up to Big Brother. Most people submit. They're telling people here in Austin they can't have neighbors over. That's right. We're all prisoners.